So in my last video I completed the Monaco challenge, the F1 Championship Edition warm-up. It was painful, it was long, and ultimately, I guess we'll see if it was worth it. I'm still hesitant to admit that. But with the warm-up done, it is time for career mode. The return to career mode, hopefully the PS3 holds up and the capture card holds up and everything holds up and I can actually make some progress this time. Hopefully this can be the actual start of the series where I play for every single career mode and win the championship in every single one of them. So let's get started. So we start with getting ourselves a race seat. We're going to go for Toro Rosso, and because we're on the hardest difficulty and the times for Spain and Silverstone are impossible, we're just going to keep refreshing and restarting until we get Magny-Cours. Because genuinely, if I do the trial at any other track other than the French Grand Prix, I don't stand a fucking chance. And believe me, even at Magny-Cours on the hardest difficulty, it is going to be absolutely merciless. However, in a turn of fortune, genuinely, quite possibly because of the warm-up around Monaco, we actually managed to smash it first time. Ignore that spin at the end, I'd completed the lap much earlier on. We beat the target lap time by over 2 seconds. So I'm sure you'd expect, over 2 seconds I beat the target lap time by. That's surely got to be our first driver's seat. I've absolutely smashed the target ass for me. What more could I possibly do? It's got to be the first driver's seat.
Come on. Me? Does that seem likely?
It's second driver's seat, but it's a race seat nonetheless. We're going to take it. Thankfully, the actual races and Grand Prix are a lot less strict, at least at certain Grand Prix. But we're going to head into the season as the Toro Rosso second driver, and we're going to be doing our best to take that first driver's seat as quickly as possible. Thankfully for me, Bahrain is one of those tracks that the AI are absolutely abysmal at, and we're going to take full advantage of this because over the course of the season, there's definitely going to be races where they are unbelievably OP and I won't be able to catch them whatsoever. So I'm going to fully abuse the horrendously balanced AI on this game. We're going to go P1 in Q1. What can I say? I'm pretty fucking good at this game. And I don't mean to be cocky or anything, but I have just absolutely obliterated the first driver for Toro Rosso by 4.5 seconds.
There's clearly been some sort of mix-up. I don't mean to be rude, but look at him.
Q2 was more or less the same. Ignore the fact it says 16th in the top right-hand corner. I think I had a spin on my first lap, but my second lap, once again, we absolutely fucking smash it and go top of the table. Again, Bahrain is a pretty easy track against the AI, and we're going to take full advantage of this. So through to Q3. Q3 is a little more difficult because we have to do it on race fuel, and once the cars get heavier, the AI get a little bit more competitive, or in the case of some races, unbeatable. That's not going to bother me at Bahrain though, because once again I'm going to absolutely smash it, and we're going to go into pole position. And then we're going to immediately celebrate by doing a Mazepin, but just with more elegance and style, and less damage. So first qualifying session of the season, and we take our first pole position of the season. We take pole position by an astounding 4.5 tenths of a second over Fernando Alonso. So let's see if I can convert this into what could possibly be a debut win. So starting from pole position for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Our first race, our first pole position, could it be our... Why have I paused it? I've just completely ruined... What the fuck is wrong with you? So our first pole position, our first race, could it be our first race win? Lights out and away we go. It's been a pretty decent start. We're going to be under pressure from the Renaults obviously, and the Ferraris and the Hondas and the McLarens, and basically all the cars behind me as we come down to turn number 1. We're going to be very cautious under braking because I knew the AI are going to send it, because no matter if the AI are ahead of you, they will send it into the back of you if needed. But we survived turn number 1. We just got to survive the rest of the opening lap because, again, you'll see into turn number 3, I'm kind of terrified because I know from a lot of experience the AI will just drive into the back of you and break your car, and then it's game over. So it's best to just to be a push. You genuinely need to be a pushover to survive on this game. Purely because of the pace difference in cars though, this wasn't going to be an easy win. You can see down towards turn number 11, Alonso right behind me once again, dives me up the inside once again. We leave him the space, and because of that we survive and hold a position. It's it's honestly terrifying racing the AI in this game, but it's quite rewarding when you beat them. We have admittedly let Alonso past, and we're going to try and get in the slipstream down towards the final corner to retake the lead as we come on to lap number 2. With the help of slipstream, we managed to go up the inside into the final corner. It just means we're going to have to fend off Alonso into the first corner once again and hopefully not be killed. But 1 lap into our Formula 1 career, 1 lap led. We've had a faultless career so far. I think we should end it now. Into the braking zone of turn number 1. Again, we're going to go deep just to leave Alonso room if he chooses to be a terrorist. But out of turn number 3, we still hold the lead of the race. On lap number 2, I really didn't think I'd have to deal with this as soon as I had. Getting flashbacks to the Monaco Grand Prix, but we're dealing with a lapped car who decides to, despite having a puncher, parks it on the fucking apex of the penultimate corner. We managed to get by, and actually, he massively helps me out as he holds up Alonso, Schumacher, Button, Montoya, and the rest throughout the entirety of that corner. So, thank you. I'm going to assume E-Day. I'm going to assume that was E-Day going flat out and not having any sort of car issue, because, well, it's usually E-Day. I have absolutely no doubt the Renaults and the Ferraris will catch back up to me, but for now, we've got a pretty healthy lead. When I say a healthy lead, what I mean by that is Alonso can absolutely send it at every single corner and try and kill me. It turns out, thanks to us breaking the slipstream, thanks to the Super Aguri, we were actually able to pull away from Alonso and Schumacher. I don't know if it was because Alonso and Schumacher were fighting. However, the game decides I'm way too far out in front and decides I need to nerf him by throwing out the red and yellow flag, which means there's oil on track, and normally it's on the racing line in a really awkward position, as we've seen into turn number 10. I mean, how the fuck was I meant to avoid that? Thanks, game. As we come to the end of my first stint, we've managed to keep the gap to 2 seconds with P2. Alonso has already made his pit stop. Whether he's going to undercut me, we'll have to wait and see, but I'm pretty confident with pit stops, as we know. So hopefully we'll be able to hold on to this race lead as we come into the pit. Thanks to the oil spillage at turn 10, my tyres did start to wear quite a bit, so I wasn't really able to pull a gap out from that point onwards, but we managed to maintain the lead at least. And whilst I wasn't at all confident going on to the hard tyres and maintaining this pace, I was feeling pretty confident that I could at least get maybe a top 3, maybe a top 5, assuming of course that I didn't get dived into a corner and just be taken out. But a 7.2 second pit stop, very strong against the AI, and we're going to come out comfortably in net P1. Assuming we get out ahead of Jenson Button and we have a good outlap, we should have a pretty healthy lead in P1, and maybe we might be able to convert this to our first race win. We're out ahead of Nico Rosberg, we've got a healthy gap to Trulli ahead, and all the cars ahead of us still have to make a pit stop. We're comfortably ahead of Michael Schumacher. We're no longer comfortably ahead of Michael Schumacher because we spun it at turn 10. Rosberg, thankfully, gives me a little nudge to get me in the right direction again. We've lost a heap of time, and now we're under pressure from a Williams. And suddenly, as soon as we start our second stint, it's all going downhill. Rosberg has sent it at turn number 11. We're just going to let him by. He's got absolutely no fuel in his car, so he's obviously going to be quicker. And I'll be honest, from that spin, I started to really lose focus and struggle. We're going to get Rosberg back at the penultimate corner because that seemed to be the one corner I was genuinely quicker than the AI. You can see down towards the final corner, Rosberg's looking up the inside and we're going to leave him room to send it. He does indeed send it, he doesn't make the move, and I'm sure he's going to come into the pit at the end of this lap, as are the cars ahead of us. We are going to hold on to the race lead. No, we're not. Barrichello's yet to make a pit stop, but it's the net race lead for us. Never mind, Button has come out of the pit. We might just get out ahead of the Honda, under braking into turn number 1. Button, I think he sent it. We didn't actually see him, but we just get out ahead of the Honda. Now we've got Button and Schumacher directly behind me. Despite how this race started, I have a fear it's going to be a very tense final 8 laps of this race. Despite the spin, we are going to get out ahead of Barrichello. I'm pretty sure he was in the lower half of the points finishes anyway. So we are still going to be in the lead with 7 laps remaining, and we have actually pulled a gap out to Jenson Button. I'm pretty sure Button and Schumacher are fighting, which is massively helping me out. I've got yet another lifeline in this race. If I had the cars in my slipstream the entire time and attacking me, I was going to be in trouble. If they're going to battle, I have a chance. Oh look, a clip of me 2 seconds ahead. And no lap cars ahead. I'm sure this is going to go really well for me. Into turn number 8. Are we going to lose it? You bet. It's only a half spin. It's not too bad. We've only lost, what, maybe, 2 seconds. They're right behind us. Oh shit. We're going to be under pressure from Button and Schumacher and Montoya and Fisichella for the remainder of this race. I have no idea where Alonso is. I think he's actually retired. Well, that's one less thing for us to worry about, but right now the focus is very much on Jenson Button, who is sending up the inside of turn number 11. Then through the penultimate corner, Schumacher and Button are once again battling. Hopefully, for the love of God, Jenson Button, please keep Schumacher behind, because I'm not oblivious to the fact that the Ferrari is significantly quicker in a straight line than is Toro Rosso, and if I'm battling Michael Schumacher down the straight, I'm going to lose. Quite comfortably. 6 laps remaining, and Michael Schumacher has made a move on Jenson Button. That is not good for me at all. Neither's that. I'm losing the car again through turn number 8, and now Michael Schumacher is right behind me as we come down towards turn number 9. I don't know what it was about turn number 8, but at least on the hard tyres, the car didn't like it. So we'll add turn 8 to the list of mental blocks I'll have to fight off this race. I'll be honest, despite how the first stint went, this is no longer looking like an easy victory. Coming out of the final corner with 5 laps remaining, we were able to open the gap up through the penultimate corner, but that was pretty much it. That was the only place we were quicker than the AI, and now Schumacher was in my slipstream. It was going to be tough. I was expecting to be... Well, I no longer have to worry about him diving me at any given corner. We have solved that problem ourselves. We're down to P4 after another spin. Yeah, I guess it's turned into a recovery drive. Let's chase down Montoya. Annoyingly, the McLaren is another car that's quite quick in a straight line, so if I'm going to have to do this, I'm going to have to send it, and quite aggressively, and pray that he doesn't turn in and I lose a wheel. Into turn number 8, the corner, it's an interesting choice of corner for me to overtake given the struggles I've had through it this race, but we managed to convert it up into P3, or back up into P3 I should say. I'll be honest, I don't know where I found the courage and the confidence to send it up the inside of turn number 8, but you can't argue with results. With 3 laps remaining, I think the win was very much out of the question by this point. We'd thrown that away, but P2, I could see it. It was in my reach. It's no longer within my reach. I've spun again. Luckily, I've managed to block Montoya, so we don't have to fight him again. I think now, with 3 laps remaining, it's time to just convert this P3. It's debatable whether I would have been able to actually beat Button. The Honda's not great in a straight line. It is very good in the corners though. Could I have got P2? Arguably, if I'd driven a perfect race. I didn't. I'm actually under pressure from Fisichella. I completely forgot that happened. But we're going to come home and take P3 from this pole position. It should have been a race win, arguably. I feel like had I driven a perfect race, I probably would have lost out to Schumacher at least. Am I saying that just because I definitely absolutely threw it away and bottled it? My lawyers advised me not to speak. But we're going to finish the first Grand Prix of the season with a pole position, with a podium, with 6 points to our name. Pretty good for a rookie. If you can consider me a rookie, I have played this game an unhealthy amount, even though the driving on show may not demonstrate that. So obviously means Michael Schumacher is going to be leading the championship. We're going to be P3 in the standings, trust me. I'm not going to stay there. I had to make the most of a weak track for the AI. I didn't make the most of it, obviously, but we got a decent result. Before you go to the comments to judge me, let's all just sit and enjoy the beautiful podium ceremony of F1 Championship Edition. A thing that doesn't look remotely like Jenson Button, and another thing that doesn't look remotely like Michael Schumacher. Let's just ignore the fact that they're celebrating during the national anthem and not just standing there being respectful. That seems like a massive oversight from the devs. Oh. Well, it turns out my camera's frozen. Well, I guess that checks out. There seems to be consistent problems whenever I try and do a career mode on this game. God, that's a disgustingly unflattering freeze. So we have an overall successful first race of the season. Don't worry if you think that looked way too easy. I had to make the most of this because coming up we've got Malaysia, Australia and Imola. 3 races that I haven't recorded yet, but I just know I'm not going to be getting pole position and I won't be getting a podium. God, I hope it doesn't rain in Malaysia.